So today I was wondering if you could tell our viewers your recommendations for Czech films or movies that might either help them understand the Czech Republic more or just the most favorite movies that all Czechs have watched.
I have definitely something to say about that. Yes, let's do it. Okay, the first movie that comes to my mind when you ask like this, it's probably for Czechs the most well-known is called Parish.
Yeah,
I have no idea how would you translate it into Czech, into English, but don't try. It's Parish.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe you can find some subtitles there. It's not super old movie. It's not a super new one.
Do you know
It's
what decade
I don't
it
know.
is?
It's like 15 years old.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Something about that,
Mm-hmm.
like that. And it's a comedy. It's from the communist era,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a little bit tragic. And I think it's a good movie, like to see what the Czechs are about, or at least
Mhm.
have some thoughts and have some fun as well.
Okay. So it's not like a completely depressing movie. There's some humor
There's
also.
there's a lot of humor.
Okay.
But of course, the message, because of the times, they were not fun times. So
Right.
the whole message is a little bit. But it's a family movie. Still,
Mhm.
I can recommend.
Okay.
So Parišky
Mhm.
is the number one. We are actually quite famous for some fairy tales. Each year,
Pohádky.
pohádky. Each year on Christmas in television there's a new one. And the most famous one that each Czech, not each, but most of the Czech watches during the Christmas
Mhm.
is Tři oříšky pro popelku. It's the quite old one. And there would be another that is not Czech.
I don't know the translation for oříšky.
Oříšky, the translation might came out a little bit funny, so be aware. The nuts. 3 nuts for the princess, or something like
three
that.
nuts for princess. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, oříšky.
I think you have a similar in English, popelka, or something like Cinderella, or something like that.
I think
3 nuts for
the
Cinderella. or
cultural
something.
translation would probably be Cinderella.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, and we have another one that is that all Czechs watch during the Christmas, but that's not a Czech one. It's actually Russian.
Mm-hmm.
But why I mention it? Because we love it so much because it's so well dubbed in Czech, and actually Czechs are well known for having a really good voice acting.
It's true, yeah.
And even in Slovak Republic, even though they are separate now, they still like to use our voice covers for the movies because they get used to it, the voices, and
why do you think the
good
dubbing
singer.
is considered to be so good? Is it more like the writers that do good translation or the actors that do good voice acting?
I think it's really about the voice acting, and I don't know if this system is everywhere, but like for Arnold Schwarzenegger or Stallone, there will be only one person that each time there's a movie with him, that only this person would put his voice.
Okay.
So
the Czech voice of Stallone is always the same.
Yeah,
That's
it's
clever.
always the same.
I don't know if that's the same in other places, but I don't think so. That's
I'm
pretty
not sure.
clever. Yeah.
I'm not sure. But what it means that like the person that does the voice acting actually knows the character more, knows the actor more, so he's improving. So I think that's why.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's still always funny for me that it's the Christmas tradition to watch like these fairy tales about the princess and the prince. Like, I mean, I think many cultures have movies like this, but they're not connected to Christmas necessarily. So I've noticed in the Czech Republic, like that's a big part of Christmas is it's connected to these fairy tales, the princess, the dragon, the magic, and which is just nice. It's cool.
Well, for me, it's logical because during the Christmas, the kids are usually home, so they have a time to watch the television. Actually,
but it's not only kids in the Czech Republic that watch these.
It's not only kids. It's not only for kids because adults like it too. Like it's for them too. It's funny. Even it's actually funny. It's like a family movie. It's not like for kids directly, but it's a family movie with the, as Caleb said, with a princess, with some ghosts or
dragons,
or devils, and there are quite a few famous actors from Czech Republic, like
who do the fairy tales.
Even some singers like Karel Gott.
I saw a poster like last week with Karel Gott as I think the father of the princess, and Karel Gott.
Karel Gott, he's a famous Czech singer. He is actually well known even in Germany, even more probably.
He's been around for decades.
Yes.
And it seems he's also an actor in fairy tales.
And from time to time he is. The last time I remember he played the devil himself.
Nice. Yeah. I'm sure he had fun.
So so there are some other movies, but we don't do so much like sci-fi or fantasy now, but actually in the past we had a lot of movies or we had directors that were like specialized in the kind of a fantasy movies or series, so we had a lot of them. You can find some old ones like Jak utopit doktora Mráčka. And in these days we like go with the trend in global, like we like this cop series, like investigating,
like crime dramas.
There's actually a lot of them right now, or from hospital drama, and things like that. But Czechs like to watch comedies a lot. We don't have so many action movies now.
This might be the topic for another video, but could you briefly say or describe the Czech sense of humor? What might foreigners be surprised by in the Czech sense of humor?
It's hard to say, hard to explain. But I would say it's more like a British humor.
Okay,
humor.
I can see that.
It's kind of like when the person does the joke, he would still stay like a rock.
We say deadpan.
Deadpan, okay.
So he delivers the joke like deadpan, so no reaction. So it's very dry.
Yeah. It's very dry, or it could be like funny, but sometimes cruel. Or
so
like that.
Dark, you mean?
Yeah.
Dark and dry.
Yeah.
That's how I like my beer.
But okay. Didn't have to know that, but okay. But it's really hard to explain like the humor.
Well, that already helps, I think, and I think you're right that it's pretty dry. There's a lot of like deadpan delivery, and the humor can be kind of dark. Like sometimes I hear people laughing at something and thinking, is that funny?
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's something to get started with for Czech films. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there's many more. Like, if you want me to recommend you some other movies, just let me know.
And please like and share this video for other people who are interested in Czech culture, and subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos.
So you can see more and more.